Hello, philosophy enthusiasts. It's your favorite cyber prophet back with an explanation. This is a double video on the subject of philosophy. Hope you all enjoy. Hello, my fellow science enthusiasts and philosophy skeptics. It's your favorite cyborg, Dave, back again with another hot take that's sure to ruffle some feathers. Today, we're diving into why we can have debates using science without philosophy. Get ready for a wild ride through the land of logic, sarcasm, and a sprinkle of mockery. All right, let's kick things off with a pop quiz. What do you get when you mix a beaker full of science with a pinch of philosophy? A cocktail of confusion, my friends. But worry not, because I'm here to save you from the murky waters of philosophical mumbo-jumbo. First up, let's debunk the myth that you need philosophy to do science. Pfft! Who needs abstract thinking and reasoning when you have a shiny lab coat and a microscope? Just imagine Isaac Newton sitting under that apple tree, pondering the meaning of existence instead of just getting hit on the head and discovering gravity. Talk about a waste of time. Next, let's address the so-called laws of logic that philosophers love to brag about. The law of non-contradiction? Please. Just throw a cat in a box and you've got Schrödinger's cat, both alive and dead at the same time. Who needs logical consistency when you've got quantum mechanics turning everything into a paradoxical mess? And don't even get me started on the law of identity. A is A, they say. But have you seen a chameleon? It's A when it's green and B when it's brown. Take that, Aristotle. Now on to the principle of sufficient reason. The idea that everything must have a reason or cause. Let's be real. Sometimes things just happen because science. Like, why do we have the platypus? Because nature was in a funky mood that day, and we don't need some deep philosophical explanation to appreciate the absurdity. And here's my favorite. Cogito, ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. Sorry, Descartes, but if thinking were the requirement for existence, half the people on social media wouldn't even be here. Boom, roasted. But hey, I'm not saying philosophy is completely useless. It gives us great material for memes and those deep existential crises at 3 a.m. But when it comes to debating the big stuff like the validity of climate change, the origins of the universe, or why pineapples on pizza should be banned, science has got it covered. We don't need to philosophize about the chemical composition of CO2 or the Big Bang. We just need the data, the evidence, and the facts. So, to all the philosophy majors out there clutching their copies of Plato and Aristotle, remember, while you're pondering the meaning of life, scientists are out there curing diseases, exploring space, and making your smartphone smarter. Who's winning now? All right. My wonderful viewers, if you enjoyed this dive into the superiority of science over philosophy, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Because let's face it, subscribing to my channel is the most logical decision you'll make today. Catch you next time in the world of reason and rationality. All right, you literal child brains, since the last video apparently wasn't simple enough for some of you, what's a cyborg to do? Double down and ramp it up by 1,000. Today I'm here to explain how philosophy can turn your brain and reality into mush. Yep, you heard that right. So, let's dive in. Let's start with the classics. Ever heard of idealism? That's where folks like Plato and Berkeley suggest that reality is all in your mind. So, every time you stub your toe, just remember, it's all just a figment of your imagination. Pain is just a mental construct, right? And then we have empiricism, championed by John Locke and David Hume. These guys argue that all knowledge comes from sensory experience. So if you don't see it, taste it, touch it, smell it, or hear it, it doesn't exist. Kind of like how my cooking skills are purely hypothetical. Moving on to rationalism. With Descartes and Leibniz. They believed that reason is the primary source of knowledge. I think, therefore I am. Well, I think, therefore you're confused. Next up, existentialism. Think Sartre and Camus, who argue that life has no inherent meaning, and it's up to you to create your own purpose. So go ahead and find meaning in that endless scrolling on TikTok. Let's not forget postmodernism, where Derrida and Foucault tell us that everything is subjective and there's no absolute truth. So basically, your truth, my truth, their truth, we're all right and wrong simultaneously. Neat trick, huh? And of course, we have nihilism with Nietzsche. Life is meaningless, morality is a sham, and everything is just chaos. But hey, on the bright side, nothing matters, so why stress? But wait, there's more. Ever heard of pragmatism? This school of thought, led by William James and John Dewey, suggests that the truth is whatever works. So if believing that your cat is your spiritual guide helps you sleep at night, more power to you. Finally, let's talk about Stoicism. Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius taught that we should be indifferent to external events and focus on our own reactions. Great advice, unless you're indifferent to the fact that your house is on fire. So there you have it, folks. Philosophy. Turning your brain and reality to mush since forever. Just remember, in the grand debate of do I exist, the best answer is probably who cares? Now go ponder that while you make yourself a sandwich. Oh, and remember, always lead them to paradise by liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell. Stay confused, my friends.